are now entering Armbar Audio.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Armbar Audio. I'm your host, Tim Farley, and next to me is my trusted companion,
John Kearns. What's up, everybody? Should be pretty obvious by looking at the screen what we're here to do today.
Yes. Now,
What are we doing?
let me do a little explanation for the viewers/listener.
Yes.
Both of our lives are changing.
Yes.
John's getting a promotion at work. I have been working on personal endeavors and self-growth. So, you may have noticed we've only been talking about AEW lately because in reality, it's the only one we keep up with regularly. I'm sorry to anyone who enjoyed Inside the Indies or us talking about Impact or New Japan. It's not that we don't know what's going on there.
And those will
They'll
come
back. But right now, we have stuff going on.
Yeah.
Now,
that's also why we've switched to a bi-weekly format, if you've noticed that.
We are here to talk about the big week in AEW coming up at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And beforehand, John and I were looking at the cards and discussing things. And even though both of us have mild OCD, we're going to go over Rampage first and then go into Wednesday, even though it's not chronological order, because the card for Wednesday is way more important and way more stacked than the Rampage card.
True. All right, so let's get right into it, I suppose, huh?
Well, before we do that, now, you may have noticed that after all hell broke loose, after All Out and the media scrum, your boys John and Tim did not make a video about it. We didn't really discuss much of it.
Yeah, it's because everybody did.
Number one, it's because everybody did. And also, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. And, I don't know these people personally.
We tweeted about it a little bit.
I will say this, John. Tony Khan pivoted, and he pivoted well.
Yeah.
His reliance on Jon Moxley on the Wednesday after All Out, his promo was so good. And
I'd say one of the best I ever experienced.
Yes. And it is very apparent through this tournament and just the airtime. The Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club mean a whole hell of a lot to AEW. And Jericho, Moxley, Danielson, and Swerve in Our Glory, the Acclaimed, everybody that they're relying on now is showing that you don't need the Elite or CM Punk to do the same or better numbers in ratings.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic in my opinion. I just kind of wanted to talk about, the way that Tony Khan pivoted.
Yeah.
And the shows have not lacked, and I'm actually happy about it. So yeah, any thoughts, John?
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about it myself. Especially seeing that Kenny has taken the opportunity to travel to the land of the rising sun and reconnect with Golden Lover tag team partner and best friend Kota Ibushi. And
Lover.
It seems like a positive. It seems like some much needed time off.
Yeah, and
if not, like, I guess you would call it a mandatory vacation.
Right. Now, I am not going to say anything about this, but I will bring it up. There's been social media posts and dirt sheet bullshit about the Bucks and Kenny Omega sending feelers to WWE. Sammy Guevara made a post after his match on Wednesday with Moxley that kind of alluded to maybe him going somewhere else. I'll believe things when I see them. Dirt sheets have been wrong a lot. And hopefully, people read into things too much because Omega wants to change the world and the Bucks are with him. So them leaving AEW just does not make sense. It would make more sense to fire CM Punk, in my opinion.
If they're going to do anything, and I don't think they will.
Yeah, I just hope it all blows over. But
Same.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give any credence to any of that stuff. And why would Sammy leave? Like, you met your wife there. Your wife's employed there.
I don't know.
Him with Jericho is perfect. So, like, what do you? I don't know. I hate the internet. Anyway, let's go into Rampage. We have a decent card,
Yeah.
I mean, it is exciting.
2-hour special.
It's just a 2-hour special,
Mm-hmm.
10 to 12 if you're on the East Coast.
Is it 10 to 12?
Yeah.
Or is it 9 to 11?
Nope, it's 10 to
10
12.
to 12.
I think so, yeah.
Damn. That's a bizarre choice. But okay.
Yeah, see? 10, 9 Central.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, Action Bronson, who sings or does the theme music for Hook, is going to be making his in-ring debut, teaming with Hook against 2.0. And I'm actually very excited because I've been listening to Action Bronson for years, and his love for wrestling, I mean, from song titles to lines in his songs, and the video packages they made, he's throwing weight around. There's no doubt in my mind that 2.0 lose.
No. The sheer fact that Hook is involved means that whatever side he's on is going to win, because he is one of the hottest commodities in AEW right now, and he's basically at this point Mr. Rampage.
Yeah.
So
I really fucking like Hook, man.
Yeah.
I like his presentation.
I'm so happy
when he talks.
I'm so happy that he lived up to the hype that surrounded him just based on him being around.
Right. What do you think about 2.0, John?
I have always been a fan. They have grown on me even more so as part of JAS.
Right. Now,
especially Matt Menard.
Now, I know that, fans of certain wrestlers get upset and say they're not being used right. And this isn't talking about them. I'm just saying in general. Oh, they're not being used right. Oh, they should be champions. Sometimes what people don't understand is being on TV matters.
Yeah.
Being entertaining matters. And they're still getting paid. So, like, in my opinion, I don't care how many losses 2.0 makes. Because they're still affiliated with Jericho.
Yeah.
And they are entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
The next match we'll talk about is, for the first time ever, Jungle Boy Jack Perry will be taking on Rey Fenix. This will be a barn burner.
Oh, yeah.
Until it gets stopped. I assume this match
will show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume that. If not, because here's the thing. Neither of these guys should lose. Rey Fenix, as long as he keeps his body healthy, should be on the up and up. Jungle Boy is in a feud with two guys, and he shouldn't lose either. So let us get a good 10, 15 minutes of action. and then throw Luchasaurus in there and fuck it up. Because I don't want, and I don't think it's logical to have either lose.
True.
But if someone was to lose, it would be Phoenix.
Yeah, but Phoenix just became part of the Trios champs.
Right, but this loss wouldn't affect them because Jungle Boy doesn't have Christian.
Doesn't have a trio.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We want to move on to Battle Royal territory?
Well, I was going to go there.
Well, I'd rather talk about a title match.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a Battle Royal for a number one contender spot for the AEW Championship.
While there is already a number one contender.
Very interesting, huh?
Yeah. Oh, well, some might say stupid, but interesting. We'll go with that.
Well, we all know that MJF and, the storyline with him and Tony Khan, number one.
True.
And number two, MJF, he'll sit back and wait until the most opportune time to make the match.
True.
He's not going to. As seen in that promo with Moxley, he took his shirt off, then he left.
Yep.
And then after Moxley had his match, he came out and then talked shit on Moxley. He also added in the rest of the guys, but his main promo was against Moxley.
Yeah.
Which I'll get to at the end of this show. But so we have this battle royal, and we see the graphic has Pentagon, Hangman, Adam Page, Hangman, Jay Lethal, and Lance Archer. We don't know the rest of the people, so I can't really say much.
Yeah.
But based on these four guys, and based on who I think will win the title, Hangman or Lance Archer.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you think about the battle royal while there's a number one contender? I talk. Where are you?
I don't get it. I don't know why it's happening. I think it might just be happening to pad out Rampage, but whatever. It's going to be entertaining.
What if it pisses off MJF?
It could.
And MJF
I think it
comes
should.
Out and says some shit.
He should.
Yeah.
Turn this into a storyline, especially if Hangman Page wins it.
Yeah.
We got Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara,
which was slated for All Out, and we thought it wasn't happening because Sammy was still suspended, but he was on that week's Rampage. So
yeah, who knows?
I don't know what we're doing here. But if the rumors and the speculation of that post are true, I would go with Eddie. But I don't think they are true. And Eddie eats losses like I eat spring veggie rolls from get-go.
Yeah, we do a lot of talk about losses that don't hurt people. Eddie's losses are hurting him. I am growing exponentially sick of watching Eddie Kingston lose because I love Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Every crowd, everywhere they go, loves Eddie Kingston.
But that's why he doesn't need to win. Which is bullshit. Maybe he doesn't need to win every match.
To win, but we want to see him win sometimes.
Yeah, the man should have held a fucking title by now. Any of them.
Yeah.
Sammy just put on a great match with Jon Moxley. Kingston is coming off that. He won against Ishii, right? Yeah. He came off that great match. I expect Kingston to brawl and Sammy to do his thing. Tay will get involved. Hopefully Ruby will be around. It really all depends on if the rumors are true. Because if Sammy's leaving, he'll lose. If he's not leaving,
I want Eddie to win either
Yeah,
way.
I'm going with
I
Eddie.
don't care.
I'm going with Eddie.
Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I'm going to say right off the bat, Ricky Starks takes this one. He needs to.
Agreed. Number one, it's kind of weird that it's still going on.
It's kind of weird that Hobbs won it all out. It's kind of fucking weird.
Well, when we did the prediction show for All Out, I said, who hurts
to be
the
fair,
most for a loss? And you and Sid both agreed that no one hurts from a loss. But I think Hobbs would have hurt more. So, yeah, I'm going with Ricky here. But
there was a lot of weirdness surrounding All Out. To be fair,
I'm kind of over this.
Yeah.
I think Ricky can be used better. And
no matter what
I
happens,
think Hobbs can too.
No matter what happens, end this.
Hobbs is a big dude. He's athletic. He's got an it factor to him. And, there's guys that he could be wrestling that are his size.
He's got the it factor, and Starks oozes it factor.
Yeah, and everyone talks about WWE being the land of the giants and how AEW is so much smaller. I refuse to believe that. I will argue.
AEW has a good balance, good mix.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think the future is bright for both of these guys. It's just not bright as a feud.
If they continue fighting each other.
Yeah. So Diamante has been winning a lot of matches on the AEW YouTube shows, and Jade Cargill is looking for a challenger. Diamante has stepped up to the plate. Now, it would be easy to just write this off as, oh, they didn't have anything for her, so they're giving her Diamante and Jade will win, blah, blah, blah. But we do know that Kiera Hogan and Diamante are in a relationship. I don't remember if they're engaged or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiera Hogan is baddie. There could be some goofiness afoot, some shenanigans. But if they keep that off screen,
might even be some tomfoolery.
What about chicanery?
I don't know that one.
Okay. Anyway, if they decide to keep that information off air, this is an easy 3-minute match for Jade.
Yeah.
If they don't, it'll be interesting, but Jade will probably still win.
If
you don't lose to Athena, you're not losing to Diamante, am I right?
True. I do love Diamante, but that is true. And I still do believe that they're saving Jade's loss for Chris Statlander.
I agree.
So Sting and Darby Allin, Darby Allin and Matt Hardy had an actually good freaking match on Rampage.
Right.
But it was brought to an abrupt end by one Brody King when he beat the ever-loving shit out of Matt Hardy. Or was it afterwards?
No, it was afterwards.
Okay, well, whatever.
Lights went out. Brody had Hardy in the choke. Had Hardy in the choke and said, Darby and Sting, this isn't over. You might have cut the head off the snake, but the venom is still here. I want a tag match, no DQ on Rampage. And then he left, and then Darby and Sting came to Hardy's aid. I really like this because the House of Black is still alive. And
they're still called the House of Black.
When Malachi Black bowed and gave a kiss to the crowd, and everyone was saying, oh, it's his back, oh, it's his mental health, oh, he might be going back to WWE because of Triple H.
It's his mental
health. We all found out that, I believe this is true, that he was given a conditional release, meaning he will be back in AEW.
Yeah, and he himself said he was taking time off for mental health issues.
Right. And I also, they said something about how he wasn't happy with how his character was being used. And if that's true...
None of that Nobody that makes stories like that can possibly know that.
But if
I hate it so much.
Right, but if it is true, this gives Tony Khan time to
Rework it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him not being happy with how his character is portrayed.
Maybe not the portrayal, but
House of Black has the most badass entrance in pro wrestling history. They have the most badass team, one of the most badass teams in pro wrestling history. They beat the ever loving shit out of everyone they're in the ring with, except
when it
matters.
Malachi Black hasn't had good momentum since Cody Rhodes left.
But you can't pretend that he's the only guy that happens to.
Right. And this is one of the issues with AEW.
Yeah. But one that's being fixed because Punk is not there right now.
Or the Elite.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
Or the Elite.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're focusing, whatever Tony Khan has planned for ROH has to be coming up soon because we're seeing much more ROH on our AEW television.
Yeah, and
that match with Woods and Samoa Joe
was great.
Ruled.
And if the Ring of Honor product is going to be anything like the majority of Rampage main events have been for the past few months, it's going to be badass.
Right.
Because the Ring of Honor Rampage main events are all fucking killer.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that leads us into Wednesday night Dynamite.
You know what that means?
It's Wednesday?
Yeah.
And you know what that means?
Yes.
Yep. First match we're going to talk about here is the interim women's championship being defended by Toni Storm against the Professor Serena Deeb, the Fallen Goddess Athena, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I expect a good showing from all four women.
Yep.
I expect the champ to retain.
Yes.
I also expect Britt to have Tony pinned and Hayter gets involved.
It has to happen.
It can happen.
It has to happen. No, not it can. It has to. This has to be going somewhere.
I want it to go somewhere. Jamie Hayter has it.
And there has been some butting of heads as of late.
Yeah. Didn't Britt Baker implore Serena Deeb? Didn't she employ her the past week since Hayter's been gone or something? Like she tagged with her.
Well, yeah, she tagged with her. I don't know if she employed her.
Whatever.
Well, yeah.
Toni Storm just won the damn thing. She ain't gonna lose it.
Nope. Pac and Orange Cassidy. I want to talk about it. I'm so happy.
Good. Talk.
I am ready for Orange Cassidy to be taken seriously in AEW.
And I think he is too.
And I think he is.
Because of what happened.
Yeah.
After that tag team match, and they were interviewing Pac, what happened?
He just got fucking knocked out from off screen.
Yeah.
And you knew immediately who it was.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Please pull the trigger on Orange Cassidy as a serious character.
He's ready.
Really. I mean,
he's been ready.
The guy's an architect in real life. You don't think he can make it work?
Sure.
While I do love Pac, he's had good defenses of the very short-lived All-Atlantic Championship, but he's a Trios champion now. And they didn't give the Trios titles to the Best Friends.
Yeah.
Throw something to him.
And he's already been able to brag about being the first double champion.
Yeah.
And Orange winning the belt is never going to take that away from him.
Exactly.
So I think he can safely lose the title here.
Right. Now we're going to get into the real good shit.
Meat and potatoes.
Mm-hmm. And this is the meat. Swerve in Our Glory is defending against the Acclaimed in New York. Now, at All Out,
I'm waiting.
At All Out, it was the Acclaim's coming out party. The All Out presser at the Scrum, Swerve realized what was going on and then kind of went heel with it. And he kind of... If Punk put Tony Khan through hell, Swerve kind of held some fires to him as well.
Yeah.
Swerve saying he don't care if he gets booed or if he is cheered. He's out there to throw touchdowns every time. He doesn't care about what the Acclaimed, if the Acclaimed can rap or if they're over with the fans. Him and Keith Lee are the top, this and that. And I love hearing that from him. But the Acclaimed will be crowned champions on Wednesday night if Tony Khan knows what's good.
Everybody thought that the Acclaimed's time was All Out, and I did as well. But the fact that they lost it All Out makes me so much more excited for this match. This is the Acclaimed's time.
Absolutely.
It has to be.
Has to be.
If it's not, don't fucking bother. If they don't do it now, don't bother.
Right. And with Swerve's attitude and Keith Lee's attitude
nonchalance
and the problems that they had before they got the titles, you could make something happen there.
Yeah.
The Acclaimed needs to get these belts on that night.
If the Acclaimed does not win on Wednesday, it's going to be the exact same scenario that we talked about with WWE and Braun Strowman.
Yep. In Saudi Arabia, whenever Baron Corbin fucked him over with Brock Lesnar.
Just like strike when the iron is hot, and the iron on the Acclaimed is red fucking hot.
It's about to melt.
Yeah.
For the ROH World
That
Championship,
was good shit.
Claudio Castagnoli, my bad, is wrestling Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho at the presser said, "This is one of the best years of my career, star ratings wise, and viewership. Everyone thought when the Elite and everybody was gone, they went to who is AEW, Jericho and Moxley.
Yep.
And Jericho and Moxley are doing it.
Yeah.
Jericho's never won a title in Ring of Honor. He wants the Ocho.
I really liked his promo.
I really liked it
where he
too.
talked about, I've been a world champion in WWF, in WWE, in WCW.
AEW?
He had did he ever have the Intercontinental title in Japan? Did he? Did he hold it? When he fought Naito?
That's a
did
good
he
question.
have it?
That's a good question.
I want to say he did. I'm going to look it up. But in AEW, the one place I've never been a world champion.
And he's actually alluded
Is
to
Ring of
it
Honor.
on other rampages.
Has he really?
Yes.
I didn't know.
He's been planting little seeds.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, everyone's very happy that Claudio is finally a champion, and he's been on fire. Jericho has put on bangers recently with Bryan Danielson twice and Eddie Kingston and everybody else. Do you think Jericho's going to walk out with the ROH Championship, John?
I don't think they're going to take it off Claudio. I mean, they could, and it would make sense, but I don't know that I want them to.
I do.
You do? You want Jericho to win the Ring of Honor title?
Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time.
I mean, mine too, but
And he has been having a stellar year for himself. Claudio, even though it has been only since July, has put on good matches.
He had the IWGP Intercontinental Belt.
Yeah. And at the end of the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, it was teased that FTR's next Ring of Honor tag team match would be against Yuta and Claudio. And when Claudio did the promo for this match, Yuta was in the ring with him. Yuta just lost the Pure Championship. Either way, if either guy wins, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I just think it would be very interesting to see the title on Jericho. And remember, if the Blackpool Combat Club go after FTR's titles, Claudio has a singles win against Dax Harwood.
Yeah.
So, I'm going Jericho, you're going Claudio.
Yeah.
But we both kind of agree that either way,
Jericho holding a Ring of Honor title would be fucking nuts.
And here's another thing. If Tony Khan's ready to say Ring of Honor is going to be a weekly show, or Ring of Honor is going to be a bi-weekly show, or Ring of Honor is going to do this.
How do you get eyes on it immediately?
How did he get AEW to? He signed Chris Jericho.
Yep. They're ending Dynamite Grand Slam with potentially one of the greatest matches of the year, possibly of the past decade.
The last time they wrestled was fucking amazing. This time should be no different. I pray that no one gets injured because AEW needs both of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now.
But it's Moxley and Bryan Danielson.
Here's my thoughts. Putting the belt on Bryan Danielson is a good idea because Bryan Danielson is a very good babyface. He knows how to get over as a babyface and as a heel. He's the best technical wrestler in the world. And he's a consummate professional. And it would be something new. But Jon Moxley holds AEW Galaxy on his shoulders.
Yep.
The man was supposed to go on a 6-week vacation for holding the AEW Interim Championship while CM Punk was hurt. CM Punk wins. CM Punk does CM Punk things. And now Jon Moxley decides, yeah, Tony, I won't go on vacation. As a matter of fact, give me a mic on Wednesday and I'll make all the non-believers and all the people who are saying things about this company right now believe again.
Yeah.
And for that reason, that is what... There's another reason. MJF has the number one contendership, right?
Yeah.
MJF, while he did speak about Jericho and Sammy and Bryan, he mainly spoke of Moxley.
Yeah.
So, ethically, morally, logically, and kayfably, Jon Moxley walks out of this amazing match, a bloody mess, with the AEW World Championship.
Did you say MJF walks out or Moxley walks out?
I hope I said Moxley.
I think you said Moxley. But my mind was elsewhere.
But it also, I
have.
said earlier in this show that MJF is going to sit back and wait for the most opportune time. When is the most opportune time?
No, there has been some confusion about this on social media. Does the chip work like the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Here's my answer. Personally, I don't know. But I do know that wrestling defies logic, defies rules,
Yeah.
and
You got a point there.
I would not be surprised if it never has been used like that it could be.
Yeah. That's true. Good shit.
So maybe MJF walks out of Arthur Ashe with the title.
But either way, Moxley's beating Brian Danielson, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there is no question that man is the backbone of AEW. He is the heart and soul of AEW. He is the ace of AEW. And
In my opinion, he's the ace of wrestling.
it's ill-advised to ever bet against the ace.
Right. One more thing before we go, John. I talked a lot about Moxley and Jericho stepping up in their roles, but I would be remiss if I did not say anything about the returning MJF, about Darby Allin, about Sammy Guevara, about the Acclaimed. The AEW ship does not necessarily need all the people that the E-drones think they do. And with that, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, peace, love to all of you. Bang!